Good thing to know.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Also help you guys in.
All right. Welcome everybody to LEGOthon 2024. Today we've got an exciting run coming up. We've got Chimkin and Tfresh are running Lego Movie 2, the video game 100%. So we got an exciting run here. Should be under 3 hours, or about 3 hours, somewhere around there, and it should be fun. So we'll get started whenever Tfresh and Chimkin are ready. Awesome. And we start out. And we're going to load here into Apocalypseburg. Nice little beginning area here. And it looks like we got so what Chimkin and Tfresh are going to try to do here is going to try to get far enough in the game for the bat cave to open, because otherwise the game can soft lock them out of 100%, and we don't want that to happen. That'd be really bad. So after this starting cutscene here, we're gonna have some bricks to collect. You're gonna be seeing a lot of purple bricks. I don't quite remember the lore of this game, but I think the Duplo are attacking, and now we are in the apocalypse.
Well, we defended what remained. We call it Apocalypseburg. And it is a
This game is pretty notable for its art style compared to other LEGO games. While other LEGO games opted to have more realistic environments, everything in this game is entirely made of LEGO, so it gives it a pretty unique feel. And we'll load in right here. Cutscene's just about to end. And off they go. So I believe we have Chimkin on the left here and Tfresh on the right here. And as you can see, it is completely separate characters. Unlike a lot of LEGO games where they have fixed cameras or where you can't go very far from each other. But no, here Tfresh and Chimkin are essentially playing entirely different games. And so it's going to make it really interesting for the route where they are off on completely different sides of the map. And it's going to be kind of hard to keep track of, but basically what they're doing is they're just trying to collect all these purple bricks you'll see here in just a minute. And yeah. You see Tfresh on the right here going to do a triple jump, or I'm not sure if it's called a triple jump, but it's like a double jump. Lets you get some extra height. You just need to switch your items midair and you can get another jump. And that'll be used a lot in the run. Like if you pay attention, they'll be doing that all the time. That extra height can go the extra mile a lot of the time. And you'll see both characters smashing different objects around the world. And that's not just to get studs. In this game, there's blocks you can pick up. And with those blocks, you're able to craft different items like trampolines and stuff, which will help them later in the game to skip different bosses or do different quests. It's really cool what you can do with the different items. Nice little double jump there from Chimkin. Skipping this whole section up here. And look, he's going to build a little helper robot here to help him get rid of this wall. very unique game compared to most LEGO games that TT Games have made up to this point, and I don't think there's really been a game like it. I think it's the second newest game before the Skywalker saga, so it's definitely got a lot more modern technology and all that. Cutscenes are going to affect both sides, so anytime one player is going to trigger a cutscene, it's going to interrupt whatever the other's doing, so they're going to have to cooperate to make sure that they're not interfering with each other's quests and stuff. So they're going to have you can't hear it, but they have a lot of communication going on to make sure that they can get this done optimally as possible. Tfresh riding a Mega Unikitty. Very interesting mount here, because I know later it can be used for different launches and stuff. There are frame-dependent tricks in this game, and Chimkin did mention that they might not go super well because his FPS isn't as good when he's streaming, but I'm hoping that those go pretty well. It shouldn't be too bad, but you never know with these kinds of games. Yeah. It's crazy how far they get from each other. Tfresh is still in the starting area of the spawn, and Chimkin's out on his own, and who knows where Desertville. But you get to... It's so much different in co-op in this game because of how much, agency each player has. That's just not something you can do with 1P2C, especially with all the camera movements. You can get pretty far with it, and Chimkin has a lot of experience with the 1P2C in this game, but you just can't reach this level of multitasking with one person. It's just not possible. So co-op runs in this game are so much faster than they would in single player. And I don't know if anybody has done a single player 100%. I'd have to double check, but it would be a huge task. This basically splits it up so you have two players doing two separate runs and makes it a lot easier and a lot more interesting, frankly. The route gets pretty crazy. But as you can see here, Tfresh can drop out at any time and then drop in just to spawn wherever Chimkin's at, so he doesn't have to walk the entire way. It makes it really easy to get around. Yeah. That's Apocalypseburg. They're gonna leave it there. I think that's the Batcave they opened. And they're gonna head to the next world. There's a bunch of different planets they can go to, so there's a lot of different areas. Makes it pretty interesting. Yep, now we're in this little grassy area. I think they got to do this little building tutorial. It'll teach them how to use the blocks and stuff, but of course they already know how to do that. Yep, unlocking some house blueprints, gonna build up this house here. Get the quest done. I don't know if they'll be here for very long. At least in any percent, you're here just to build this house and leave. But yeah, you got these Lego Friends characters helping them out. For those of you who are pretty knowledgeable about the actual Lego sets and stuff, there's probably a lot in store in this game for you. A lot of different Easter eggs and references to the different sets. And that's it. Already off to the next world. Just like I said. Nice, short, and sweet. But now we're off to the blue planet. Here we go.
Things were starting to get a little out of hand. We'd have to cross the asteroids to reach the
Yeah, and they're going to split up right at the start. Collect that purple brick down there at the beginning. It's Chimkin. Does a pretty clean jump there to get up the wall. That's another tech right there. If you swap while you're diving, you can spam swaps, and that's considered faster movement to get around. Yep. You'll see a lot of these where Tfresh calls in just to grab a single purple brick and then call right back out. Basically doing little errands for Chimkin while he's out doing the main quest. Chimkin's struggling a little bit getting up that jump. He gets it though. Tfresh is going to call back in with him. And I mentioned it a couple times where you can switch items, but you do have a bunch of different tools at your disposal. So rather than different characters being super useful over another, you over the course of the game, you unlock different, like you get a sticker gun, you get like blueprints and stuff, and as you go on, we'll see more and more of those unlocked. I know later they unlock a jetpack, and that completely breaks the game open. And they'll use that to their advantage to get the rest of the purple bricks. Tfresh is doing a little race here. There's going to be a lot of these where he has to go through these different little circles. A lot of these are in the air with the jetpack, so you'd be flying through a lot of things, and he has to make it within the time frame if he wants to get the prize at the end. I think there might be a couple of those throughout the run that are pretty difficult. And I think right here we have Chimkin. This is the launch I was mentioning earlier that he's going to try to do, where he stands on the wall here with the Mega Kitty, and it's going to launch him way over to the next planet. If he can get the launch here, though he did mention he might struggle with it a bit here, because while streaming, his game's kind of messy. But let's hope he can get this soon. It looks like he is struggling. He's not getting any sort of launch here. Oh, there we go. And he made it. That wasn't too bad. A little bit of struggle, but that could have been worse. And that's going to skip all the things to get over to this spot. And it looks like that was the last purple brick to move on here. Would unlock Rex. And as I mentioned earlier, this game is entirely made of Legos. So that the side effect of that is it's a lot more blocky in the terrain, so you're able to jump up a lot of places you should not be able to jump up because there's no smooth surfaces. It's all Lego pieces, so you're gonna see a lot of them climbing different walls on these little tiny platforms to get up to places they were not intended to get to. And then now we're gonna head over to this Old West world. Gonna unlock these blueprints from the ice cream man over here. Chimkin's got some danger fists now. Those are some good combat tools there. I believe. Unlock the camera here too. Remember, I know in any percent you come in here to unlock the things, you talk to the ice cream guy, and you immediately leave. So already deviating from that route here. They're gonna pick up a few more things before they leave here. They're also picking up these little relic items you see. Tfresh just picked up a green relic. I believe those are part of 100%. And there's another purple relic right there. And I do know, Chimkin did mention, toward the end of the run, this game has a loot box system, and there's some buildings that they need to unlock from the loot boxes. So toward the end of the run, there's going to be a big RNG segment where they have to find these buildings in the loot boxes, and there's no telling how long that could take. They just have to keep opening until they get what they need. LEGO Speedruns does not promote gambling, but we do promote going fast, so we gotta do what we gotta do here. Tfresh is cleaning up the combat tasks around the world. Those nice fists he unlocked. Chimkin working on a race.
Now they're fine. A report.
Yeah, I'm sure you can just imagine trying to do this in a 1P2C setting. It just wouldn't be very viable. There's just so much going on at the same time. Having to race in your left hand and having to fight a bunch of bad guys in your right hand, just not gonna work for most people. Chimkin's gonna finish his race with 13 seconds to spare. Good job, Chimkin. We're all proud of you. He's gonna get a horse out of it. Oh, it looks like Tfresh is gonna drop. It looks like he's trying to use that zip line. Yeah. He's surely upset about that one. Chimkin, I bet, is giving him an earful right now. But it's okay, he got up there eventually. He's gonna get a building and another purple brick. It's impossible to keep up with how many purple bricks they're getting, so if you pay attention in the top left, it'll show you how many they're at to fill their requirement to move on. But they'll definitely be coming around to collect. Tfresh fiddling with his builder page here. Struggling to put the build on the little rock he's aiming at. Looks like Chimkin's gonna walk over to try to help him out. There we go, he gets it placed. And see, he's gonna use that to get to the top of the water tower. At the end of the world, and they're gonna move on there. And I believe every purple brick in this world is intended, except for that one. That one is not an intended purple brick to get at this stage in the game. But it just goes to show how many cool things you can do in this game. You can really rip this game open apart with your builder's page and your different items. It's crazy what you can do, and they're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff later too. But we're going to move out of Frontierland. I believe that was a one visit, so they're not going to come back to that world.
We arrived on a strange
So wave goodbye if you liked that one. You're not going to see it again.
But we need to do some exploring to make sure.
Now we're in this cool little alien planet. A lot of cool puzzles and stuff in this one they're going to have to work out. Little velociraptor with cannons on his back. Just normal Lego movie things. Tfresh is going to attempt another skip with this antenna thing, little flower satellite dish. He's going to make it over. Chimkin's gonna unlock the alien fruit. Looks very appetizing.
Yeah, so it turned out this place wasn't quite so nice after all.
Unlocking this cutscene to get into this
We'd need
temple.
to make friends with the other natives.
Yeah, those cutscenes can be deadly, so they've got to be careful when they're syncing those up. If Tfresh is like in the middle of a jump, when Chimkin activates a cutscene, it could just ruin his day. So they've got to be very cooperative in this run. There's no every man for himself. They got to be on the same page at all times. Nice little skip there from Tfresh. Got a lot of height out of that jump. Gonna struggle on this one though. There we go. That's the third try. Looks like he fell back down somehow. I'm not sure how that happened, but he made it to the top.
We just hoped we hadn't come at a bad time.
Gonna try to break into the tree here, where Unikitty is staying. now they've unlocked the color wand, so now they're gonna have a bunch of puzzles to work out, where they have to color a bunch of Lego blocks, different colors to solve puzzles, and you'll see this in a temple here later. But yeah, you get so many cool different tools throughout the run. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember where they get the jetpack, but that's the broken one. When you get that, the whole game changes. Chimkin gonna paint the door here to unlock it. You can see he's punching through the cutscene, which gives him lets him move around while the cutscene's playing, which gives him a little extra time to work with here. There's a lot of small things that they're doing to save time, but it's hard to keep track of everything when it's going so fast, and there's 2 different games happening at the same time here. Here we go. Lit up the moon part of the door. Now they gotta get the sun part. Uh-oh. Gonna miss that jump getting up there. Nothing to worry about, though. Tfresh finishing this race here with flying colors, with help from his trusty Mega Kitty. Not a problem at all. 27 seconds to spare. Not many can do that in the industry. Just gonna keep collecting on some purple bricks, and as you can see in the top left, that's just what they need to progress in the main story. But there's many more purple bricks in the level than it says up there, so they still have more to collect. And so aside from the Old West world that they just left, they're gonna have to return to the older worlds with their new items to get all the purple bricks they need to get 100%. Chimkin gonna be working on yet another race here. Looks like he's doing this one unintended, because those circles are in the air. So he's cheesing that one a little bit, getting it done early. Tfresh can unlock the secret little underground area here. Not gonna go in there before getting that purple brick though. Oh, never mind. Looks like he almost forgot that purple brick. That would have been bad.
Both temples active? Surely nothing could stop
I'm not sure what their success rate with forgetting brick size, but hopefully they don't forget anything important in this one. So I'm sure they'd beat themselves up over that later. But for now, they're just working on some quests for some villagers around the planet. Getting it done. I'm sure you've noticed by now that just how much stuff is in each of these worlds that they've got to collect, and why 2 players save so much time. It's not just a couple things along the way, it's just spread out all over the place. Chimkin's gonna be in this little puzzle temple area. Gonna trigger that cutscene. Now they've got this big ol' chameleon boss fight here. I don't think this this chameleon was in the movie to my knowledge. I saw it a long time ago, but I don't think this is canon. Pretty sure this movie has a lot of wacky stuff that has, I mean, this game has a lot of wacky stuff that has nothing to do with the movie, but you know, that makes it more interesting. Gonna feed him the spiky fruit. Didn't like that very much. So you can see Tfresh is dropped out here. He is not going to be helping for this boss fight. Not that there'd be much for him to add to the activities going on here. So Chimkin's going to ride this one solo. It's a pretty simple boss fight. Just wait for the spiky fruits, faint him a little bit, and then he'll take a bite, take a bit of his health. But that part of the fight is over, so now Tfresh actually, he's called in now. Tfresh gonna help out. Is gonna climb the chameleon's tongue here to try to get up to his head. Gonna latch onto his tail, swing around a little bit. It's a pretty cool boss fight. It's kind of like that one game on the PlayStation, the Colossus game, where you have to climb up the boss and get up and hit its weak spot. So Tfresh is gonna work his way up. I believe he's on the chameleon's head now, so he's got to take out these little pylons. Sure. There we go. It didn't look like he was able to damage the one on the right at all, but getting it taken care of. I believe if you look at the petals on the flower on the head, that's his life. Just took off a bunch of those, but he's gonna get flung off and gonna have to do it all over again. Chameleon's gonna be doing these tongue attacks. Nothing to worry about though, you just run in circles. Not really a threat. Tfresh is mentioning that there is a possibility that this fight softlocks. I'm not entirely sure how that happens, but let's all cross our fingers that that doesn't happen, because that's no fun for anybody. Chimkin looking for an opportunity to get on the tail. There we go. Missed it the first time. Inverted the process a little bit here. Last time it was the tongue onto the tail, but now it was the tail onto the tongue. But regardless, made his way back up to the top. Gonna shoot these little guys, little cute little guys again. But, you know, it has to be done. One more should do it. Struggling a little bit on the right one. There we go. And that should be the final blow on the chameleon boss fight. Good job to Chimkin and Tfresh. Looking like they're on pace for a massive gold. So we could be seeing a nice PB here from the two of them, which is always exciting to get in a marathon.
Okay, so after defeating the giant, crazy monster thing, there was nothing that could stop us now. Don't know why I forgot to mention that part before.
Gonna feed their purple bricks into the machine and get the heck out of here. The PB in this category is a 2:38.42, so in all likeliness, we are probably going to go very far underestimate, but that's better than going overestimate. And now they're going to be in this world, the little Squidward Town world with all the houses.
I don't think anyone
Just
could
going to
have
run from
expected what we
backyard to
found in this
backyard, picking up
weird,
sticks.
eerily clean-looking place. Maybe the citizens would be able to tell us what was going on.
My friends in town might be able to help us. Let's ask them.
Pretty elaborate cutscene to get a little lawnmower there. Chimkin's just gonna completely tear up the neighborhood and then park his little vehicle there in the spot.
Wasn't exactly what we had in mind, but at least we
Get a
weren't
little, nice little quest out of it.
attention.
Does look like he's waiting for Tfresh to pick up that brick. Not entirely sure why. Didn't look like it started a cutscene or anything.
I built this lovely
But
cafe, but it still needs an
that kind of cooperation is definitely needed.
For business. Care to lend a hand? Before you...
Superman's gonna clear away some boulders for us. Thank you, Superman.
We'd managed to find a way to reach Metalbeard. Hopefully, he'd be able to help us figure out what was going on.
Frankly, a pretty small and kind of less interesting world, this one. Just a bunch of houses, and you're gonna run around and do a couple quest items, get some bricks. But we have a pretty cool one coming up next. It's like they hit their masterpiece target, so they're probably going to start working their way toward the main storyline. A lot of superheroes in this world. Seen Aquaman, The Flash, Superman. They're all just kind of hanging out. Tfresh gonna drop out. Chimkin is gonna dip. Like Tfresh is gonna start a race. 43 seconds to spare. Give it up for Tfresh, man. Really a speedrunner to his core.
Oh no! My hero!
That's right. You get to unlock Metalbeard's head as a weapon. So that's always fun.
So, we managed to get Metalbeard back.
I believe
to,
that's the best
well,
weapon.
maybe normal isn't exactly the word.
Gonna
But
replace
anyway,
their
for a new sense
fists.
of confidence, we decided to see if
It's pretty
there
quick.
was anyone else around with
Clears out
that.
enemies pretty well. Can also flip some levers as you're seeing here. Looks like they're gonna combine their cutscenes.
Oh,
Shutting.
the Queen's guards are here. We need to go check on the town. Oh!
Might be trying to get some stuff done before they move on. Looks like Chimkin's trying to wait here in the text box while Tfresh finishes some chores. There's a few times in this run where both players aren't doing anything. Or there's one player doing something and the other is just working on setting up a cutscene or setting a spawn point for the other player. Because while two players is always super helpful, there's only so much you can do. If there's only one quest left, you only need one person to do it. So Chimkin's just gonna wait it out, and now they're gonna start this fight with the space people. Essentially the main villains of the story. There are some purple bricks you can't collect, you gotta buy them. So that's what Tfresh did, and it looks like he's buying the furniture. I believe those are also required for 100%. So he's just gonna clear out the shop. They've gotten plenty of studs by now. Another spot where Chimkin's just gonna wait it out. Now Tfresh is gonna head toward the main objective up in the sun. The little secret base up there. do a big ol' double jump there, triple jump, to skip a bunch of the platforming to get up there. While Chimkin clears out the last of the errands they need to do before they get out of here. Big stud spot there. That'll be helpful later when they have to clear out some shops. I believe they're going to try to get most of their studs in this level, because just how many there are. They're also going to try to get some relics, I believe 10, to for later in the run when they need to use those. So they might as well do it now while they have the resources to do so, rather than worrying about it later. So just going to grind a little bit, get these hearts. And the hearts drop these mega relics, which they'll use later. And later they'll use this to get the construction hat, which will let them build objects without using any bricks, which is super helpful, because they only have a limited amount of those, and they need to use them a lot. Yep, and it looks like they're done here, so they're gonna move on to the next world. Got all their grinding out of the way. They might have to do some more later, but had the opportunity now. Get some mega relics, and now we can move on. Oh yeah, now we're in the construction zone world. A lot of stuff to do here.
So, after an as good as can be expected sort of landing, we decided to look around and
I believe
see what we
Chimkin is
could
going to
get
try to
next.
skip the wall over here. Pretty tricky jump, so there we go. Makes it over. Tfresh is going to follow him. Now back to collecting. Chimkin's going to try to buy out this shop over here, or at least get the purple brick. And Chimkin is going to skip yet another wall while Tfresh stays here and does some collecting. Very colorful world. A lot of stuff going on here. A lot of bricks just strewn about the place. It's kind of like the wastelands. Tfresh is gonna come back over. He finished what he was doing over on the other side of the wall. And this is just basically skipping them having to unlock the different areas. They just jump right over. Chimkin working on a race. Gonna finish with 12 seconds to spare. Not too bad, not too bad. Maybe we do a little better next time. Gonna start another one here. Get all those good races out of the way. Races definitely mess up the route a little bit because you just kind of have to go where it goes. You can't stop along the way, so you just kind of have to work them in somehow. "19 seconds to spare. That's pretty good. Looks like Tfresh has finished his duties. Now he's just gonna wait on Chimkin to cross the wall over here. And he's gonna follow over. Tfresh, as usual, letting Chimkin do all the hard stuff. I forgot about that one. You can just walk through that wall. There's no collision there. And that's it for this world, for now. And I believe this is the final world in the story. Or close to it. But once they finish the any percent part of the run, they gotta go back and collect everything again. Here we are.
After finally making it to the space temple, we just needed to find a way to get in.
Made it to the space temple, where the queen's hiding out, so they gotta go take care of her. But of course, not without collecting some purple bricks on the way. Chimkin gonna try to do a little tricky jump here onto this bar to get this brick. There we go. Gets it eventually. Doing some clever movement here to skip all these puzzles. Who needs to do those? Tfresh gonna do a little shopping. Oh, and they get the grapple gun. That's a good unlock. Gonna help them get across here. Makes that super easy. They've unlocked Batman as a character. I believe we've only really been seeing them play Emmett and Wild Style, that's her name. Couldn't remember. But now we've got a Batman in our party. Good old Will Arnett. Tfresh gonna use his grappling hook here to climb up the cake. I'd just like to remind everybody watching that LEGOthon is supporting the Extra Life charity. If you would like to donate to this very special charity, very good cause, there is a pinned link in the chat from Nightbot. Just click on that link, and then it'll take you to our link with them. And I highly recommend it. It's for a good cause. It looks like we've raised $1,200 already, which is fantastic, and hoping we can raise a little more before we finish up this event. We do this every year, and we've raised thousands of dollars for them over the years. And it's been really great. So, but just watching helps. So thank you everybody here. Chimkin's gonna make it up to the top of the space temple. Gonna work on this puzzle while Tfresh finishes up cleaning down here.
Are you sure?
And work his way all the way up the tower. The cloud area. I know in any percent, there is a way to launch yourself all the way up. Or no, it's not a launch. You can skip a lot of these clouds with building. And it looks like he might be doing that here. So with the gonna use the totem. I believe we used to use the basketball hoop. We would unlock. But yeah, you can skip a lot of these different cloud puzzles here just by building a totem and jumping up. I gotta wonder how many of these the developers expected to happen, because a lot of them are kind of obvious. You just place something down and do a little jump, but regardless, it helps us out. And Chimkin's actually going to stack the builds here to climb up. I'm going to do 2 dishes and a totem. That's going to let him grapple up to this cloud here. And while Chimkin's working his way up to the top... Oh, that's a bad fall. Oh, that is a long way down. Not a super good time loss there. But as far as I'm aware... Oh, that's another fall. In Chimkin's defense, those little platforms he's trying to jump over are really weird and they kind of suck you in. But yeah, that's a nasty fall. But luckily, he doesn't have to build the things anymore. They're already placed on the clouds, so you just gotta work his way back up. Could be a lot worse for sure. And well, Chimkin's working on getting that figured out. Tfresh just cleaning up. Not a care in the world. And see, Chimkin's already back up, so not too bad. And I believe this run is pretty far ahead of their PB, so I'm sure they're not too concerned. Gonna make it to the top of the dolphin hat. And I believe that cake up there is what their goal is. Didn't like that placement. Gonna try to redo it. And he makes it. Tfresh is waiting. There we go. He's gonna teleport back up to the top. Gotta beat up the heart for good measure. And there you go. Tfresh mentioning that that's still golded, so their PB definitely
All wrapped up,
not the
right?
greatest, but they're gonna get a new one here, much better.
Saved the people? Wrong.
But good for them, so that means they're on track to get a good time here.
Play with you.
The people were not happy.
And we're gonna be waiting here in a
Realized
4-minute
the
cutscene.
queen wasn't
It looks
evil
like.
after all. She just had a thing for Batman. I mean, don't get me wrong. That girl has some serious communication issues. But all she wanted was peace and harmony. And Batman. But she had absolutely no
So,
evil
if there's any
agenda.
time you guys want to get
Turns
some
out
water,
Rex was the bad
get a
guy.
snack,
I know, right? All that machismo.
take a little nap
please.
maybe
Rex
before they
was
start running
actually
again,
Emmett
now's probably the
from an
time.
alternate universe, like a version of Emmett that traveled down a different timeline. So, in Rex's version,
Essentially just gonna
Emmett
recap
crashed into
the
a giant
movie for you.
asteroid and ended up stranded on the planet Undar of the Dryar system. That boy turned bitter. He was forgotten, lost, forced to watch others play without him. All that time festering away amongst the dirt. He spent weeks trying to get back on his feet, which, over time, he managed to do. In fact, he built a time machine and filled it with dinosaurs. Emmett changed his name to Rex and traveled back in time. His plan was to save his past self and turn Emmett into the kind of tough guy he wished he could have been. Well, lucky for you, I was around to save the day. I knew what I had to do.
Everything's not awesome, but that doesn't mean that it's hopeless and bleak. Everything's not awesome. In my heart, I believe we can make things better if we stick together. Side by side, you and I can build it together.
Rex's heart was just too bitter, too twisted. He just wouldn't let it go. Unfortunately for Rex, he kind of ceased to exist. Because Emmett stayed true to himself, the whole Rex thing could never have happened. Complicated, but something to do with the space-time continuum. So yeah, all good. The Queen just wanted us to come hang out and party. And who can blame her? For we are all truly...
What a wholesome little ending there for you.
Love you.
Ending it with a dance party, the classic. But yeah, that's the any percent portion of the run. That was the final level, so now they're gonna go back and really start collecting. This is where it really begins. So you can see Chimkin over here. He's unlocked the jetpack, and normally you're supposed to hold A, and you'll run out of fuel and all that. But if you just tap A, you'll get infinite flight, which is actually crazy that it passed testing, but helps this run out a lot. So he can just go wherever he wants, whenever he wants to. So you're going to be seeing a lot of that blue fire throughout the rest of this run, with just how useful it is. Yeah, no more tools to unlock, so they've got everything now. The whole game's unlocked to them now. So now it's just about getting it done as fast as they can possibly do. There really is a lot in this game. These are all areas we didn't even have the chance of seeing before, but now they're gonna run through them all real quick. Blink and you'll miss them, but yeah, you'll get to see the whole game. Although it looks like Tfresh is gonna start to head out here, so I assume Chimkin's getting pretty close to done with his stuff. It's gonna unlock the portal with their purple bricks, and it looks like, yeah, out of 50, Chimkin just needs the last one from this race. 5 seconds to spare, cutting it a little close. All masterpieces on this planet are collected, so this one is done. And now that we have the all of the worlds unlocked, the number in the top left should be correct for how many they're trying to collect. So it looks like they need about 50 in each world. And see, they already have 33 here, so they just got to get the extra 16 and or sorry, 17. My bad. And they can get out of here pretty quick. Chimkin gonna make sure to collect a lot of blocks over there, a lot of studs. They still need studs, they have a lot of stuff to buy. So they're definitely keeping an eye on that. Yeah. Before they needed to use the totems to climb over the walls. Now it's like they're not even there. So they can essentially just make a straight beeline toward wherever they need to go, which make this the second half of the run so fast. It also means you'll see a lot of flying. Unlocked the hamburger, that's very important. I don't know what I would do if they didn't unlock the hamburger. Already they've almost finished out this world. Went from needing 17 to 2 just like that. So they're just gonna try to quickly figure out these last couple power bricks. There's 49. Tfresh having some sort of issue here. Oh, he's just waiting for the Duplo guy. And there we go. That was that one. Moving on. They've got 241 power bricks out of 550. So they still have quite a few to go, but the process is sped up a considerable amount. They don't have any main quests to worry about. They can just focus strictly on collecting. And that's going to lead us back here to the little town, all the houses. It looks like here they already have most of the power bricks, so they probably won't be here for too long. Although they do have some other unlocks they need to get while they're here. Already at 49, just got one more to go. Looks like Tfresh is going to be getting that one. All masterpieces collected. Perfect, and they're already out. Super quick and easy. We'll be back on this little alien planet. They have 32. Gonna need to collect 18. Should be pretty quick. So far, it doesn't look like they've forgotten any bricks before, but I'm sure they would have known based on their brick count when they leave the level. But, you know, just something you never want to happen. But it's pretty easy with how big these levels are and how much is going on. I can imagine it's pretty easy to forget a couple bricks here and there. Looks like Chimkin is opening up some of his relics, getting some unlocks. Chimkin working on another race. Races definitely impede their progress the most because they take so long to get. It's not just like opening a box or helping a little friend. You got to run around in circles for 2 minutes. So these take up a lot of time, which is another reason why it's so helpful to do this in co-op, because you can be doing a race and also have somebody else doing the rest of the level for you. Really makes it such a unique category. But those limitations don't stop Chimkin as he, during his race, goes up and collects a purple brick. Although I wonder how close this is going to be, because he had a cutscene and he had to take a detour for the brick. Doesn't look like it'll be too bad. Looks like he's already at the finish line. "44 seconds to spare." Pretty forgiving race. There we go. One more power brick to finish it off. Gotta return the little dino babies. Like Chimkin's struggling to find them. Never mind. There we go. Got him in there. And that'll be all the masterpieces. Goodbye, alien world. Now we're going to go back to the asteroid field. And a lot of this one was skipped because we did the launch to skip a bunch of the level before. So there might be a little more to collect here. Yeah, they only have 20 of the 50 they need, so. As opposed to the previous most of 18 they need to collect 30 here, so. We'll be here for a little longer than the other ones, but again, this goes super quick with all the power-ups they have. Wow, I'm looking at the donation totals again, and it's gone up by over 100, I think. That's crazy. I don't have access to the donation logs right now. I'm sure somebody can get that later. But thank you guys for donating. It definitely means a lot. This race Tfresh is doing here is literally just running around in circles. Pretty exciting. Finished it with 8 seconds to spare though. Uh-oh. Chimkin taking a death, trying to get up to this race spot. That didn't look very intentional. But looks like he's just working his way up. Hopefully he can make it in on time. These races seem to be pretty inconsistent in how tight they are. So hopefully this is a little bit more of a lenient one. Looks like it's lenient enough he can pick up some power bricks on the way, so I'm sure he's not too worried about it. Tfresh just waiting around, so I assume he needs to be dropped in wherever Chimkin's at. Not a whole lot for him to do right now. There we go. 14 seconds to spare. Pretty lenient. As Chimkin readies up another race. So, Tfresh just twiddling his thumbs, cheering on Chimkin, being a good teammate. Snapping some pictures, maybe. Chimkin's got to lock in, though. Tfresh is back in action, so might have just been taking a little break there. Nothing wrong with that. It's got plenty of time. Chimkin cutting this one a little bit closer. Should still have about maybe 5 seconds to spare. Make it 6. We're at 47 now. These past few bricks have been a little bit slower. As I said, the races are a big bottleneck for this kind of thing. But looks like they're about to get the last 2 pretty soon. Tfresh again caught up with his duties, leaving Chimkin to finish it himself. There we go. All masterpieces. Now we're going back to Apocalypseburg. Very beginning of the run. We've come full circle here. But as you can see, still have at least another hour to go, so they're not done yet. And they did enough of this world before, so they unlocked the Bat Cave. So they will not be soft locking in this run, thankfully. As long as they get that done before, they can run rampant through this world and get everything done. Not have to worry about it. Seems to be a lot more cutscenes in this world, so going to be a lot of interruptions in their progress, but they've already made it to 25 bricks. Only 25 more to go. Chimkin making pretty good time on this race here. 22 seconds. I have seen them get pretty close to failing a race, though. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. So I can't imagine it's fun to do it twice, but it looks like they've been pretty good time on all of them. Not too much to worry about so far. And now they're both on races. One ground race and one air race. So, a lot of jetpacking going on. A lot of bubbles. A lot of finish lines. A lot of timers. This is what it means to be a speedrunner. Looks like Chimkin's gonna finish his with lots to spare. Good job, Chimkin. Grabbing a power brick on the way. Tfresh about to finish his up. His was a good amount longer than Chimkin's. I don't believe the jetpack is faster than walking, so it does take a little longer to get around. Finishes it with 9 seconds to spare though. Nothing to worry about there. Tfresh is going to start this little gladiator arena here with the Duplo blocks. Gonna have to clear out wave by wave. Ready for round 2. Got a big guy in there now. It's getting pretty intense in the Lego Movie 2 video game. Combat feels pretty fun in this game. I think they nailed that aspect pretty well. Uh-oh. Hopefully that cutscene doesn't interrupt Chimkin there. There we go. Looks like he was able to land. Oh, nope. Looks like he may have been messed up a little bit. Tfresh impeding Chimkin's progress.
I just want to mention we have
That's why you gotta be
pretty big donations
on the right
$40
page with
from
each other.
Lego saying,
It's very important, or else something like that can happen. But they've been doing a pretty great job of doing that throughout this whole run. Been in their own lane, haven't interrupted each other too much. Not a whole lot of waiting. And that is all masterpieces. 50 out of 50. And now we move to the Rexplorer system to collect even more. So we haven't played these levels yet. You don't have to do these in the story mode. But we're gonna do them now. We got stuff to collect. Luckily these ones only have 25 rather than 50, so these should be done pretty swift. Although they do have some races to do, which, as we've stated, takes quite a while.
Greetings. I do wish. Is that? Now, I am. Greetings. I knew it.
Yeah, I just want to note two big donations coming in. First, $40 from Bricko, and getting close to Funky Dots, Pause Champ, and $100 from Gus. This one's for EJP Man.
Thank you, Gus. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Gus. And we are only $135 away from the Funky Dots incentive, $1,500 total. So let's get that finished.
When does that have to be finished by? Is it by the end of tomorrow?
Yeah, by the end of tomorrow. So we got a bit of time for that, but of course, always nice to get it done. And also, we are also roughly that amount away from raising $7,000 total for Extra Life. So, good
Yeah.
cause.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hav. Yeah, if you haven't considered donating yet, check it out. We have the link pinned in the chat. It's for a good cause. And like he said, once we get to $1,500, Justin's gonna do a cool Funky Dots run at the end of the event. So if you haven't considered donating, please do. It's really great. Back to the run here. Chimkin and Tfresh are getting pretty close to finishing this world. They're at 22 out of 25 bricks. Should be wrapping this one up pretty quick. $24, got one more to go.
Could see my own.
And off they go. That's one down. About 7 more to go. There's a few of them. Moving on to the next Rex world. Now we're in the Rainbow Unikitty world. Good stuff. Got 25 more to collect here. Making some careful progress here. Chimkin finishing up, or Tfresh, sorry. Finishing up a race, 13 seconds to spare. As you can see, these worlds they're doing now are just kind of little extra tidbits to collect some more bricks in. They're pretty small and they don't take very long, so they're not at all like the ones they were doing earlier, the main story worlds. There's some cool little extra stuff to do when you beat the game. Chimkin switching to Giraffe Guy. Very, very important. And of course, very, very stylish. With the good old Banana Man, he's kind of an icon around these parts. He does his little dance. Savor it while you can, he won't be around forever. And that's all masterpieces. On to the third of what looks like 6. So not 8, sorry. It's only 6. But getting through them pretty darn fast. I think they're making really good time here. Now we're into this little Lego city world. Run around, do some errands here. This is much more akin to a setting in Lego Movie 1. Some recognizable characters such as the cat lady, good cop, bad cop. For those of you who've seen the movies. Chimkin buying some donuts and pretzels. Need a little snack on such a long run. Can't blame the guy. the wizard man. I think his name was Vitruvius. He's got the little lollipop scepter. Cool guy, cool guy. There doesn't seem to be at least not yet as many races in this stage, so it's moving along a lot quicker than the other one. We're already at 16.
The robots were recently.
Unbelievable amount of collectibles flying through the screen now. They're having to queue up because of how many are playing. I guess I spoke too soon. Here's all the races we were missing. But these ones are pretty short, only a minute long. Just go from point A to point B. Chimkin's gonna knock this one out of the park with 18 seconds to spare. Tfresh doing a more aquatic version. And after this race, they'll be at 23 out of 25. Getting pretty close to being done with this stage. Oh. Wait, did he have to... I looked away for 1 second. It looked like Tfresh had to redo that race. That's kind of a bummer. Chimkin's just gonna wait it out while he completes it again. Oh, okay. I thought I missed something, but it's just the same race twice. Very inventive gameplay from TT. It's gonna finish this one with 8 seconds. And that's gonna be all masterpieces. Going on to World 4. Making good time. I believe they're around 5 minutes ahead of PB. Which again is a 2:38. So going quite far behind estimate here, but that's okay.
No.
Starting off, I believe this is Superman's little base here. So we'll get to explore that. If you're any Superman fans out there.
Very good.
That lazy.
Oh,
Oh my goodness! Oh, phew.
I was so...
Already at 6 bricks. This one's going by crazy fast.
In case you weren't aware. Oh, that's
Wonderful.
36 to spare on that one. That's a good showing. So far, this whole run has been pretty solid from the dynamic duo here. The biggest time loss I can think of that's happened so far was on the final level, climbing up the clouds. Chimkin had that nasty fall, but other than that, this has been pretty good. I'm sure they're pretty happy with how this has gone so far. Already at 15 bricks, only got 10 more to go. Massive detour from Chimkin there to get that brick. Gonna have to come back to make it in time. This one might be a little bit closer. We're at 10 seconds. Oh, this is the closest one yet. Leaving 2 seconds to spare. If he got stuck for just a little bit, that could have been catastrophic. That's 24. Uno más. And that's it. We got 2 more, or 1 more of these levels to go. Almost done with them. And here's Goldtropolis. Only 10 bricks in this region, but Chimkin stated that they spending most of the time here grinding for relics, and this is where the loot boxes comes in. This is going to be a lot of RNG here, so let's cross our fingers for some good RNG for them here, because for some reason part of the speedrun is opening loot boxes, so we'll see that here in just a minute. You can see just how many they're collecting. The game can't keep up with how many they've grabbed. Very, very shiny level. It's kind of an eyesore, to be honest, but the relics in this game are essentially just loot boxes. You open them and you get a random item. There's like 200 items and they need like specific 20 to finish what they're doing. So they gotta roll what they need. And that could take who knows how long. It's unfortunately toward the very end of the run, so they gotta deal with all that RNG at the very end. Of course, while they do need to grind out these relics, they do still have 4 more power bricks they need to get. Only 1 more to go. Sure, quite how many relics they're looking to get. And there's the last break. There we go, and they're out of there. So now they're going to come back to this little planet that we skipped earlier. And we're going to do some opening. Of course, there's still 36 more bricks they need to collect here. They're gonna set up a shop here. And open all of their mega relics. And there we go. They got their construction hat, which allows them to build items without having to use their bricks, which is super useful for this section because they're going to be building a lot of stuff. It's going to be pretty simple though. They're just going to be placing down the blueprints and let the game run its course. So the big structures take a long time. And so, now that we're here, once we hit 40 of the bricks, that is when the run is going to end. Once they finish out this world, once they build everything they need to build, and those relics that they collected should have given them everything they needed. So now it's just a matter of getting it all down, finishing all their quests, and the last sprint for the finish line. Yeah, they can't. It's not enough just to build the items. They've got to do a bunch of other random garbage too, like taking pictures of dog people and climbing towers. Uh-oh. Tfresh looking a little bit stuck here. There we go. Kind of a slippery area for some reason. Good thing he can get out though. This room doesn't take too long, but they are extremely ahead of estimate. They're about 5 minutes ahead of PB last I checked, and their PB is a 2:38. So the estimate is not super accurate in this case. They're just about done. Maybe another 10 minutes. I'm sure for the runners, this is the most fun part of the run. Just getting around, building stuff, having a fun time. Road halfway done on their bricks. Getting really close to the finish. And it looks like they need to go back for more relics. This is where the RNG comes in. So they're going to go back to Goldtropolis and collect some more. Then they'll go back and continue doing what they were doing. What's a speed run without a little bit of RNG? Gotta keep it interesting. It can't be too skill based. And back they go. Hopefully that should have been enough so they don't have to make a third trip. I guess we'll find out soon enough once they open them at the beginning here. There we go. See if Tfresh can build what he was looking to build. There we go. Seems like he got what he needed. Up to 30 bricks now, only 10 more to go. The countdown has started. Gonna be 9 more. Make that 8 more. Right into 7 more. Making good time. Can we get a sub 230? Pretty close. Be 6 more. 5 more. Only 5 left to go. Four more. Tfresh currently painting a pyramid. 3 more. Gonna be close. Two more. One more. One more brick. Can they do it? They have 50 seconds to get sub 230. And that's it. Congratulations to Chimkin and Tfresh on their 100% speedrun of LEGO Movie 2. See the final time here in a minute. 2:31:21. 4-minute PB. That is fantastic. It looks like the timer on the screen is a little bit behind. But fantastic run from the runners. They're smiling on camera. They're cheesing. They're very happy with how that went, and I'm sure you guys are too. Hopefully you thought that run was cool. Thank you for all of the donations during that. And yeah, thank you for being here. And up next, we've got Carcoon is playing Galador, Defense of the World. And yeah, that should be a great run. Very different from most Lego games, but uh, part of it anyway, and that should be really great.
That's right. And I think for our last donation of the day, of course, main man EJP here with $100. This one is for Gus. So thanks
Couldn't
EJP for that one.
I couldn't let him show me up, so
Of course, no, competition. Yeah, and with that, uh, closing out day 2 of LEGOthon. Some fantastic runs, some cool demos. Kaizo in particular, I think was very fun. And today we raised about $700. So thank you all so much for all that. Putting us very much on track to beat the LEGOthon 2023 total, maybe even the LEGOthon 2022 total. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get some good donations in on that. Other than that, yeah, there's thanks to all the runners, and hope for a nice final day of LEGOthon tomorrow at 9 a.m. Starting with Lego: The Lord of the Rings All Mini Kits Co-op by Captain Paxo and Origin of Chaos. So that will leave you all.